Deep in the dangerous Underdark, a continent-sized sentient fungus lives, building an army of myconids. Where did it come from, and what does it want? Ghosts who exist in the city of Manifest go about their daily lives, but a mysterious force attempts to pull them downwards, into the realms of the unknown. A gigantic weapon explosion lights up the sky, decimates an entire kingdom, and ends a century-long war. What was that weapon, and where did it come from? Join me for this and more on Unsolved Mysteries. Welcome, humble adventurers, to my realm of knowledge and mystery. Here, in my cursed library, are endless tomes and scrolls on the darkest and evilest foes in all the realms. Be they from Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, the many worlds of darkness, or any realm in between. Welcome to the Dastardly decimal system. I'm your caretaker of the corrupt, the librarian, Castor Cain. And supervising as always is Vega the cat. For today's topic, I have brewed a pot of sleuth tea. This blend of wild cherry bark, romantic rose hips, auspicious orange peels, and secret spearmint has a delicious taste and an air of intrigue. So let me pour you a cup as we look at tonight's Unsolved Mysteries. Mycos. In the world of Faerun, under the high forest and in the upper regions of the Underdark, lives a massive fungus creature. It exists between the cities of Mesobaranzan and Chednasad. It is nearly 3.2 kilometers high and almost 200 kilometers wide. It exists within the walls of the Underdark, spanning through hundreds of caverns and throughout the labyrinth of tunnels. This sentient fungus is known as Mycos. It is described as spongy, gray, and humid-looking, similar to the outsides of a brain. It is immune to magic and greatly resistant to psionic energy. Different parts of Mycos could be attacked, and some were even vulnerable to acid and fire. However, any part that was destroyed would eventually grow back. For its defenses, Mycos produce poisonous spores, attacks with psionic energy, and can even manifest small, ooze-like creatures. Anyone caught by the fungus would have the flesh cleaned off their bones and their remains reanimated as a skeleton. From time to time, without explanation, large sections of Mycos withered and decayed, revealing ancient, undisturbed caverns. These caverns sometimes contained ancient ruins and were greatly sought after. There was much debate about whether or not Mycos was sentient. This debate came to a screeching halt during the Spell Plague. In 1385 DR, the fungus renamed itself King Mycos, and, using its psionic power, brought millions of myconids under its power and control, and then filled the Underdark with a strange nightmare dream that haunted the trance and sleep of anyone within its range. But where did Mycos come from? Nobody knows. Some think that it is an avatar of Silomifir, the god of myconids. But that is just one theory. Most gods even refuse to talk or mention about Mycos. Nobody knows how old it is. Some reports say that Mycos is so old that it existed in the elf kingdom of Eberron way back in negative 4700 DR. Other reports say that it was the result of a fell sorcerer's spell way back in the Vashantar Empire in minus 23,900 DR. It is believed that Arumikos is the oldest living thing in all of Toril. But still, we have no idea where it came from. That remains an unsolved mystery. The Calling. The realm of Ghostwalk is a very unique one. Firstly, the land of the dead isn't a mythological location. It's a physical place. Secondly, is that when you die, your soul doesn't have to depart. Your essence can remain and manifest, and it can just keep on, well, living doesn't sound like the right word, so let's just say existing. The city of Manifest was built around the entrance to the land of the dead. This is called the Vale of Souls. This is the weakest point between the land of the living and the world of the dead. Because of its proximity, when someone dies in Manifest, they do not become an incorporeal ghost. Instead, they continue to live their lives, interacting with and even being touched by the living. They develop ectoplasm forms that serve as their bodies, allowing adventurers to continue the fight, while even developing new and unique ghost powers and skills, and even allowing some of these deceased people to take on new training in ghost classes like Eidolon and Eidolancer. So, in a city where the dead don't have to leave, why isn't Manifest simply overrun by ghosts? This is because of something known as the Calling. Existing without a physical body is an unnatural state for a soul. A ghost has a natural inertia towards the Vale of Souls and into the true afterlife. It is only one's connection to the living that limits the pull. Yet, as time passes, the pull gets stronger until the ghost re-enters its original body or crosses over into the land of the dead. Nobody knows who built the Vale of Souls or why the Calling exists. Why does the Calling affect each ghost at different speeds and strengths? Two living souls, both with the same connections to the land of the living, can find themselves drawn into the afterlife at greatly different speeds. And as interesting as all of this is, what is its purpose? Which god or creature or being beyond our comprehension would make a world like this? Was it built by some god for some unknown reason that we have yet to decipher? Is the land of the dead so full that they need to slow the intake of new souls? Or is there some great calamity yet to occur in which the existing ghosts will be our only defense? Or maybe this was all the result of some wizard who could not get over the passing of a loved one. This remains an unsolved mystery. The Day of Mourning. When King Geron died in the year 894 YK, a war began, one that lasted 102 years. This would be known as the Last War. During this century-long skirmish, countless terrifying spells and weapons were created and used, causing massive devastation and often unleashing new and terrifying horrors onto the world. Some of these horrors were even summoned from alien worlds and extraplanar locations. The war ended in 994 YK. In the southwest of Sire, the combined forces of the Brelish and Thrain armies marched on the Siren forces. The Sirens were outnumbered 3-1. Meanwhile, Karn attackers were moving through northern Sire, ready to launch an attack of their own. This would be a retaliatory strike for the recent Sire attacks on Atur in Karnath territory. With attackers on either side, things did not look good for Sire. A red light filled the sky, bright enough to blind the soldiers on the field of ruin. Suddenly, a massive, magical explosion occurred, destroying the nation's Sire and devastating the military forces on each side. The kingdom of Sire was destroyed, as was each and every living soul within its nation, transforming that land into what we now called the Mournlands. The devastation at Sire was not the only event that occurred on that day. A train, Sire 1313, was ripped from reality and transformed into a mobile domain of dread, with each of its passengers believing that they are stuck on a journey they can never hope to complete. A massive subterranean prison, one built by House Cannith to hold the worst aberrations, outsiders, and creatures in existence, was destroyed, freeing its horrific prisoners into the wild. Nobody knew what this weapon was or where it came from, but every other nation was afraid that it would happen to them next. Fearing that the morning event would occur again, the 5 nations came together and negotiated a truce. This would be called the Treaty of Thronehold. Yet as peace took hold, there were still some lingering questions, the biggest being, what caused the day of mourning? Had the Sire people created a weapon that nuked their own nation? Had the wizards created the greatest and largest living spell ever and then lost control of it? Did the artificers create an uncontrollable weapon and we all lived in its devastation? Did something that was buried beneath Sire awaken and made its way to the surface? This remains an unsolved mystery. Who created this continent-sized sentient fungus, and what does it want? What is the purpose of the Veil of Souls, and why does the calling exist? And who or what caused the day of mourning? For every mystery there is someone, somewhere, who knows the truth. The same holds true for these mysteries. If you, or someone you know, has any information, contact us on social media at DD System Podcast. That's Delta Delta System Podcast. Join us next time for more stories and lore about the darkest villains from the darkest realms. This has been the Dastardly Decimal System, and once again, I am your librarian, Castor Cain, and with me as always is Vega the cat. Do you love the Dastardly decimal system and want to support us? Check out our new Patreon. Members will get access to show notes, official artwork, our new bonus episode series called Cleaning Up After Tea Time, and of course, plenty of cat pics of Vega voice actors Vash and Zid. You'll even be able to suggest a topic for a future episode. Check it out at patreon.com/dastardlydecimalsystem. If you're not financially able and still want to support us, suggest the show to a D&D loving friend. It really helps us get noticed, and binging is always encouraged. The Dastardly Decimal System can be found on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Blue Sky at DD System Podcast. That's Delta Delta System Podcast. Drop us a message and say hi. Vega always loves the attention. This podcast was produced by Midnight Reading Audio, a division of Midnight Reading Publishing. The voice of Castor Cain is Larry Gent. Hi. The voice of Vega is provided by my cats, Vash and Zid. Thank you, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.